Brides-to-be are often kind of surprised to find out that wearing a wedding veil can be a little bit tricky. We don't want you to make a mistake that can ruin your dream day. But don't worry, we've got you covered because in this video we are going to look at the 5 common mistakes to avoid when it comes to wearing a wedding veil. We're going to make sure your dream day goes off without a hitch. Each veil that I make is the beginning of this family's legacy. The first mistake is to choose your veil before your dress. I totally get it. I am really enthusiastic about bridal accessories too, but try not to choose your veil before your dress. It is important that your veil coordinates with your gown and just creates additional stress if you have this veil on hand that you love and you're trying to match it to the dress. Generally, it should be the other way around. I will say there is an exception to this rule. Sometimes families or brides or the mom of the bride will have a heirloom bridal accessory and they're really wanting their daughter to wear it, or the bride-to-be is really wanting to wear it. So that is one case where sometimes you will have the bridal veil already picked out before you go wedding dress shopping. Maybe you've seen some pretty funny videos of the veil being ripped out of a bride's hair. This has become viral in recent years, so make sure to avoid mistake number 2 and to have the veil secured properly in your hair. I generally prefer the metal style of comb, although the plastic work well too because you can't see them. You'll take the curved part of the comb and back comb it against the grain of your hair, as you see me doing with this bride right here. You don't have to wear it up as high as this bride, but I also recommend crisscrossing 2 bobby pins on either side of the prongs of the comb, especially if your wedding is windy. The next mistake is to refuse to even try on a veil. I know that there are brides out there who are really sure of their style and you know you don't want to wear a wedding veil, but I would recommend just trying one on at the salon to make sure that you don't want to wear one. Because until you have that magical moment when you put on a veil, you just never really know. It's kind of like when you see wedding dresses and you don't really like it hanging there, but then you try it on and you maybe fall in love with it. I really think it transforms a beautiful woman in a white gown into a bride, but then again, I am pretty biased over here. Mistake number 4 would be to really overwhelm your wedding dress by just doing way too much in your veil. Maybe you have a super bold color in your veil, or maybe you have way too many crystals and rhinestones and detailing going on in your dress. In my professional opinion, less is always more. Remember, we want everyone focused on you and your beauty rather than all of your gorgeous, sparkly accessories. Remember the phrase from what I believe is Coco Chanel, who said, "Simplicity is the keynote of all true elegance." Let's keep that in mind. Last but not least applies not just to wedding veils, but really to all the details of your wedding, and that would be getting too worried and too bogged down into what people say you should or shouldn't do, getting worried about what tradition dictates that you should wear or what you should do. It is your wedding day, so you should be able to choose what it is that you do. So if you start asking yourself questions like, am I too old to be wearing a wedding veil? Or perhaps you're asking yourself, when do I take the veil on or off? Or is it even okay to wear a veil for my second wedding? Then maybe just take a step back and reevaluate why it is you're asking this. You know, what is it that you truly want to do? And what is it that you would do if the opinions of other people didn't matter at all? I can actually think of a few more mistakes that you could make, but I can also think of some really great options that you could do. If you want a little bit more guidance, then please feel free to reach out to me at the link you see in the description. I'm also happy to send you some color swatches because color is another way that brides can get into trouble. So request your free samples and we'll go from there.